Hello Aries, and welcome to your July reading. I hope this month has gotten off to a really great start for everyone, and I can't wait to see what kind of information and energy is coming through for your sign over the course of July. As I thought about your sign, meditated, and picked out the deck that I'd be using, I got a very clear message that this would be a month that you would be taking action. Specifically action in communication. So for those of you that are trying to make a change in your life, we have this message of reaching out. So for those of you that are in need of assistance, this is basically a reminder not to wait for opportunities to come to you. You're going to be the facilitator. You're going to be the agent of change. So just like a producer on a movie would do, you're going to pick up the phone, you're going to get the permits, you're going to make all of the things kind of happen in your life. So don't wait. Instead, be very proactive, be very communicative, and be willing and ready to sort of let someone know that you might need assistance. It's not always easy. We all like to be really independent, and this card is reminding you that strength is sometimes illustrated by asking for help or by having really great communication skills, and that's what's going to see you to a very happy finish line this month. For those of you that might actually be in a place of need, emotional need or stress or monetary need, this is saying don't be afraid to reach out and ask for assistance with from your friends, from your family. Don't suffer in silence this month. Again, easier said than done, but maybe it helps to hear from me that it's important to kind of shift the way you're thinking, to not give up, to ask for someone to give you a hand. They're going to be more receptive than you think. If you're in a place of if you're blessed with abundance, if everything's going really well, this is a card that's telling you, well, message because I wrote the card, but this card is telling you to get out and feel free to do service this month. So if you can give, if you're blessed with either additional funds, energy, time, whatever, it's about volunteering. And it's also for those of you that feel that someone, a friend, a family member, a coworker, might be on the verge of needing assistance. Maybe they just seem sad, or maybe someone is just overwhelmed because of all the responsibilities in their life and they could just use some surprise help. This card is saying, why do we have to wait for holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah? This should come all year round. So feel free to do some sort of service or volunteer work, and whatever you're giving is going to come back. It'll be a healing opportunity for you, and that's basically what I'm getting through the download. Okay, let's get straight into your actual reading for this month using the tarot cards. For those of you that are new, I like to start off with that channeled information, using my own intuition and really seeing what's coming through for your sign. This is going to use the cards to help focus on opportunities and also challenges that may face you over the course of the month, or that you will be facing more accurately. And before I interpret these and give you the messages, I also pull an additional card, and I call this a catalyst. And just as you would expect from a card named Catalyst, it's kind of what sets the action into motion, and it's also a connective thread. So when we look at other cards and might be stumped, this card is going to help bring us that grounding that we need. And so we have this beautiful sort of footprints card, which is very subtle, and it's all about direction. Sometimes not realizing that you might be pointed in a direction or how far you've come. That's one thing that I get with the footprints, because sometimes we think, I've barely gotten anywhere, but if you take a look back and you see, wow, I've actually been going for miles and miles and miles, or for years and years, and I haven't recognized this beautiful path that I've taken. With footprints, we obviously think of that poem, Footprints in the Sand. It's about hidden help, and we talked about reaching out and kind of doing service from the heart. So don't be afraid to help someone, even if it's not, if you want to be anonymous, even better, because there's anonymity with that card. So someone might be suffering anonymously, or you might want to help someone without making a fuss about the fact that you helped somebody. So either way, tune in and realize that that's a great way to give if you want to. And also for your own life, knowing where you're headed is very important, but also looking back and seeing how far you've come. This is sort of the message this month. Don't lose don't lose track of your direction and also the distance you've traveled so far. So now let's take a look at the cards. I think this is coming up because we see the World in reverse here. And whenever the World card is reversed, it's showing a major change in directions. For some of you, this can also indicate a change in living situation. It can be world travel. It can be an expansion of your thoughts. The fact that it's reversed means it's changing things in such a way that you might even feel like, wow, my life, my thought process, my world has been turned inside out. This has been affected by Page of Wands. It's a delivery of a message to you. The message, though, may be one that was demonstrated and not necessarily spoken aloud. So you might have observed something, or you might have just had this sort of paradigm shift with your thoughts this month. For some of you, this might have been a long end of like a legal battle or sort of a battle of wills, and you might have won or lost an argument, and now you're sort of picking up the pieces. Because what's interesting about when things go on and on and on, whether it's a feud or a legal battle, or just sort of like you coming to this point in your life where all of a sudden you've changed your mind or you understand something, you're facing it. Now it's sort of that moment of, okay, the struggle's done, what do I do next? And so for you this month, there's an opportunity of a reset, a mental reset on expectations, on goals. Really good time to set goals. You don't have to wait till New Year's. This is something you can do throughout the year. So these holidays that we have are invented by corporations anyway. So we should be opening our heart throughout the year. We should be almost every day thinking about, am I on the right path? Am I happy with where I'm going? So don't be afraid to kind of step outside of the calendar and do these things any point in the year. Six of Cups in reverse. For some of you, it might be difficult to connect with friends and family, or also if you have children this month, they're going to need a little bit more of your time and assistance than you might expect. And this could also be what we're talking about, that sort of silent suffering, or someone that's wanting more of your time but just not knowing how to communicate it. So don't be afraid, and even for those of you that own pets, you probably saw my dog walking underneath earlier, it can be the same sort of thing. Tune into what's going on. They may be needing something and not knowing how to communicate it. So pay special attention to the elderly, to children, and to pets, those who sometimes have the most challenges in sort of articulating what's going on in their life. Also, if you have any friendships, your friend may need more of your time. There's going to be an imbalance this month where you're giving more than you're getting. Eight of Wands, very busy. The month should start off with a lot of action. It's going to continue throughout the month. The first week is what I'm sensing being the most busy, and I think after the 7th, things start to slow down just a little bit. We have the Devil card here in the middle of the month, and also projecting out into the next quarter of the year. So the Devil card is about temptation, about being honest about your fears and desires, finding some sort of happy point between the two, because that's really about sometimes a polarity that you don't need. So just admitting to yourself what's important, what's not, and then if there's anyone in your life, perhaps it's some of these friendships that feel a little strained, that you feel like, hey, there's like an elephant in the room, we need to talk about something. The Devil can be addictions, it can be fears, and it can also be about, if for any of you that might meet somebody new, that they aren't really available. Either they're afraid to open their heart, or they might be married or still in a relationship. So I would say tread lightly in regards to those of you that are in new relationships. Really get to know the person that you're with. For those of you in existing relationships, don't let things fester. If something upsets you, if something excites you, if something is on your mind, this is a time to be honest, to be forthright, to be frank, to talk about these things. The ego energy this month is controlled by King of Pentacles. It's a really good month for business success and business acumen. So don't be afraid to do something bold when it comes to starting a business, speaking up at work, trying something unusual. I feel like you're going to have a lot of success in financial endeavors this month. There's also a general caution. It's very light when the card is upright, but it's still there nonetheless, to try not to do too much of self-indulgence this month. That comes with like eating too much, spending too much, or for those of you that might have addictive tendencies, to really be careful and make sure that you are not kind of giving into that temptation, and that's why the devil's there too. So when I see the devil and I see the King of Pentacles, it means don't spoil yourself too much. I'm all for, like, you know, eating out occasionally or, you know, treating yourself, but this card is saying know where your limits are and observe those. When I look at your environment, all of the relationship cards this month are in reverse. There's only really 2 of them that came up, but with the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 6 of Cups in reverse, and Judgment in reverse, this could mean breakups and shakeups. Normally, I would see Justice reverse as being a breakup, but with all the love and the expressive cards sort of being reversed, be careful. And if there is a breakup, it's not necessarily for the worst reason. With the Devil card, it's probably illustrating some sort of a tension or a crack that already existed, and it's just bringing it to a head, opening it up. 5 of Wands in Hopes and Fears, showing that there's a lot of competition this month when we're looking at work, when we're looking at relationships and people vying for attention. So kind of recognize those patterns before you give into them. Do you really want to sort of go down that path? Is it important for you to be seen? Do you want to make a scene? So think about how you want to spend your energy, and think about if you want to risk a friendship, because there's a chance that that could happen this month if you speak out too much. When I look at the final card for this month, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. General caution there to stay as open-minded as you can. And the word that comes to mind that's outside of the meaning of the card is try not to be threatened. This is a territorial card, or it can be. And so I think that what could set you off this month is a threat from a coworker or a loved one, or feeling territorial and feeling threatened. So try not to give into those sort of primal urges this month. That's when these sort of these displays of speaking out or acting out could kind of interfere with an otherwise very productive month. Definitely a lot of productivity when it comes to work and finance that can happen. Watch what you're saying and doing in relationships, and especially watch your partners and your friends this month with the Devil card. There's either somebody that might need help because the Devil can show addictions, or might be in a situation where they are also threatened. So be as honest as you can and be as transparent as you can. Let's expand the forecast now and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny and see what else comes through. So we'll start with health. Let me turn the camera down so you can see as I shuffle. Your health card this month is a card of manifestation. And it's basically, this is equivalent to the Magician card. And it's reminding you that you have the power to create. And I saw that with the King of Pentacles here. So don't be afraid to embrace that. There's also a chemistry element to this. You see the heart at the top. Whenever I'm reading relationships and I get this, I can see that there's a really strong connection between two people. So for those of you that are in an existing relationship, it's a time to rekindle. And maybe some of you have fallen out of that sort of physical relationship, and this month is a great time to reconnect and spend time with your partner. It's also a time to kind of be careful about being tempted, as we said, because you might feel that connection with someone outside of your relationship, and you really want to look at your relationship and see how strong that bond is. Do you want to honor the commitment that you've made, or do you want to give into temptation? All right, we're going to now look at, we looked at health, we're going to look at wealth, and for wealth, I think it's appropriate that I'm using a deck with Ganesha, who's great about overcoming boundaries and obstacles. And you are going to have blessings with wealth, and I saw that this month. So Ganesha is kind of welcoming that in. And for those of you that have felt like, oh my God, I'm at a dead end, things aren't changing, this card is saying there's hidden blessings in the challenges that you've had, even in an adjustment in pay or job, or a move that you maybe didn't want to take. You might see future blessings based on this. So push through the present, which might be challenging, and embrace the opportunity. So now let's take a look. We looked at health, wealth. Let's look at love and relationships, which not always romantic, can also include friendships, but let's see the nature of the card. So we have Mercury, which is about open communication. We're not obviously in a retrograde, so that's fine. Mercury is basically saying don't get tripped up. It says get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. So for those of you that might have been waiting months and months and months to sort of come out and say something important, this is the month to do it. Say it with kindness, but also be very concise. You don't need to hide what you're trying to say. You can use the right words, but don't hide. All right, so we looked at health, wealth, love. Let's look at your destiny cards this month. Your destiny card this month, this is a modified tarot deck, and it says 9 of Flames or 9 of Wands because it's fire energy. So with destiny, this is you getting ready to basically step through another portal of opportunity. A nine of Wands to me always speaks of being qualified. So if you're at a place of employment and you feel like you're ready for a promotion or a new step in another direction, this card is saying nearly there. Stick with it, communicate what you want, and if you don't receive what you want within an amount of time that feels good to you, typically, you know, a little bit under 3/4 of a year basically, I would say it's time to move on. In relationships, this is a card that shows you've put a lot into them. Before you let go of them, make sure that you've done everything you can to fix them. And for general sort of knowledge and advice, it's saying this is a month to persevere. You'll notice when you look at 9 of Wands, there's always a person that has a bandage. They're a fighter. They've been through the battle, and they're almost, it's kind of like an Olympian, almost ready for the finish line. And you also notice this beautiful pyramid in the background. This whole journey has not been sort of accidental. There's no coincidences. You're headed towards a beautiful path, and I really do feel like it's a portal of opportunity for you. So let's review everything and bring it into focus for this month. So your channeled information was basically 3 different notes. One, it's a note of being active and manifesting, and we saw that when I looked at the expanded forecast. But reach out, ask for help, or help others. Just remember that it's a month when you are going to be the facilitator, the one that makes change. Your catalyst card was a subtle card. It says footprints, and it's all about direction. Look at how far you've come, make sure you're happy with where you're going, and maybe pay attention to those that have been helping you all along. Just like that poem, there's often a hidden benefactor that's kind of helping you on your journey, whether it's spiritual or in the flesh. As we look at the expanded forecast again, health, a general note about manifestation this month. You're going to be able to make positive changes, and I really didn't even read it for the health aspect, so it's good that I reviewed it here. When you're looking at health, make the changes you want. Make the changes in diet, make the changes in thought, and a note with relationships, because we talked about that heart at the top. Know that you can make the shift that you want to have healthier relationships. For wealth, that just an understanding that blessings are already underway, even if you feel like, why did I lose my job, or why am I stuck in this job without any sort of reason for promotion? Well, if you're stuck, it's saying maybe try something new. If you've had a change, it's saying you needed the change to happen. And if you're in a really good place, which I see many of you will be this month, count your blessings is what the card is saying. For love, open communication is key. Get whatever you need to off your chest and speak with love and with light. For your destiny card, don't give up. Persevere and realize that you've come this far and it's not an accident. As we review the general cards this month, major changes in ways of thinking, possibly places of where you're living or employment. When we look at Judgment reverse, 6 of Cups reverse, and 10 of Cups, people around you need a lot. So you may be in a place of shakeups and breakups this month. You are going to be very busy already with the 8 of Wands. Watch temptation, watch addictions, watch people in your life that may be in need of help, and try to overcome that. Great opportunities with money and with wealth. You can turn it around this month. 5 of Wands, watch out for competition. Also just push through, persevere. 9 of Flames or 9 of Wands and 5 of Wands. 2 of the same here. This one's showing you how far you can come, and this one's showing you sometimes you've lost track of how you got there. Try not to be territorial this month. Try not to be judgmental. Try to be open-minded. These things will bring you success. Overall, it's very good. I want you to focus on the 2 opportunity cards this month. Great things happening with business. A lot of things coming in for those of you that might have felt a little bit of a lull if you're an independently employed person. So I hope this was helpful for you. A little bit of a shift this month. I'm going to try weekly videos, And so keep an eye out for that. The title of those to be decided, but it might be something like the weekly download or something like that. But keep an eye, I'll be doing that for this month as a test. I don't know if I'm going to do that every month, but I like to change things up occasionally on the channel, and a lot of you have been asking for more frequent videos. I feel like I could probably do the weekly one, so we'll see how that feels. If you'd ever like a personal reading, I offer those, and there'll be a link at the end of the video, also in the description below. You can stay in touch with me, however, if you'd like to on social media. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They're great ways to know when I post new videos. I always update the sites accordingly. And for those of you that would like additional ways to stay in touch and know when the videos are posted to YouTube, you can join my newsletter, or in addition to subscribing, there's a picture of a little bell on this next to the subscribe, and that'll send you an email when new videos are posted here. So if any of you have just wanted to give back, because this has been a very sort of helpful and enlightening video, I also offer an option to give a donation, but that's completely up to you, and I do this just because I want to, so no pressure there. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you. Every month you guys make it worthwhile. You've been very supportive and kind with the comments, so please keep that coming, and know that I really appreciate you just as much as you appreciate me. So wishing you many, many blessings, and if we look at the Ganesha card, I'll leave you with that even if you can't see it, changes are underway. Every moment's a blessing, but the situation you're in and everything around you, they're lessons, they're opportunities, and they're blessings from beyond. Wishing you much love, much life, light, and life as well. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you again in another month. Thank you so much.